proving that the fandom menace isn't just angry males. It's Toxic Femininity, brought to you by Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Welcome once again to Toxic Femininity. I am your MC for the evening and the Peanut Gallery, Tom Connor. With me is, as always, Mary Mayhem there on the corner. How you doing, Mary?
Oh, I'm peachy keen as always. Tom, how are you?
Awesome. I'm doing superb. We also have Kiki Candy with us. Hello.
Hello. How are you guys tonight?
We got her from the get-go tonight, guys.
If I was a Spice Girl tonight, I'd be Toxic Spice. Just saying. Especially since my earbuds are like freaking out on me.
And your background matches our background. See how it's very familiar. It's blah, 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 blah. What I'm looking for anymore. Synergy. That's the word. Miss Sarcastic Nerd, how you doing?
Great.
Today?
She's peachy keen, Tom.
She's amazing. Uh-huh.
If I was any more excited, there'd be two of me.
Awesome.
God, no dad jokes. Knock that off right now.
We're Megs, how you doing?
Doing good. It's Sunday. It's a different day today.
It is different.
Weekend. Different vibes today. Sure.
And we also have with us Mandy. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are y'all tonight?
We're doing amazing. Oh, isn't it?
I have no idea what you just said, Tom.
Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
I'm eating now, so I'm going back.
Nope.
Going into the back. He's abandoned us. I haven't even got all the links out yet. All right, guys.
Looks like a man.
To Toxic Femininity. Thank you.
Fine, I'll come back. But or would you rather have Mr. Batman?
Dude, if you do that, I won't make it. I won't make it. I will not survive this ordeal if you do Batman.
Hello, ladies.
I think your voice gets more hoarse every time.
I think it does.
Swear to me.
Pretty good impersonation.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
We have a crap ton of articles for everybody tonight to be going through. So we got a little rotation thing on, and I think we all of us have our pearls for if at any point we get a little indignant and we must collect our pearls.
Happens.
I love that. Comments from the Peanut Gallery.
That is.
So we do have a bunch of articles to go over with you guys tonight. Oh, the world of entertainment news never ceases to amaze me on a constant and regular basis. So we're going to start off with the lovely and wonderful Megs, who's turned up some toxic women Game of Thrones stuff, right?
Never ends. So Game of Thrones has been in the headlines quite a bit lately. So I found a good one for us here, and it's from IndieWire. It says here, House of Dragons is already repeating the same mistakes as Game of Thrones. After canning a female-led Game of Thrones prequel series, HBO announced House of the Dragon, a prequel series by men and likely for men. It seems unthinkable that HBO's Game of Thrones could spend another week dominating news headlines more than 5 months after airing its series finale, but here we are. Recent days saw the fantasy series making and breaking news left and right, from a controversial panel featuring creators D.B. Weiss and David Benioff, to the pair stepping away from their deal to make a Star Wars trilogy, to HBO canceling Game of Thrones prequel series, only to announce a series order for a different prequel series hours later. But for an easy and edifying as it to tee off on Benioff and Weiss, it was HBO's maneuvering regarding the future of the franchise that was ultimately the cause for the most concern. On the surface, trading one prequel series for the next seems like a straightforward move for the premium cable network. After all, HBO's president of programming, Casey Bloys, announced in 2018 that the company had several prequel concepts pre-locating, and it's not as though there's a shortage of Game of Thrones content to choose from. What's concerning are the early differences between the project that was and the project that will be. On October 29th, it was reported that the untitled prequel series starring Naomi Watts and penned by screenwriter Jane Goldman, who was also set to serve as showrunner, had been canceled despite having already wrapped a pilot directed by S.J. Clarkson that Blois described in July as amazing despite not having seen it. Though little was known about the potential series, HBO had previously stated that it was 5,000 years before the events of Game of Thrones and described it as an examination of Westeros and a descent from the golden age of heroes into the darkest hour. Assuming that HBO was ultimately unhappy with the pilot as filmed, it's unclear whether or not attempts were made to rework the material into something acceptable, a concerning development given the well-recorded shortcomings of Benioff and Weiss when filming the original Game of Thrones pilot, the unaired version of which Craig Mazin called a complete piece of shit. Mere hours later, HBO announced that it had given a straight-to-series order to Game of Thrones prequel series House of Dragons, with Emmy-winning director and Game of Thrones alum Miguel Sapochnik directing the pilot and co-show running the series with Ryan Condal, with George R. Martin and Vince Gerardis serving as executive producers. The new prequel series is based on Martin's Fire and Blood novel. It takes you 300 years before the original series and focuses on the rise of the House of Targaryen, far before the Mother of Dragons was even a twinkle in her vile father's eye. The Game of Thrones universe is so rich with stories, Blois says in a statement announcing the news. We look forward to exploring the origins of House Targaryen in the earlier days of Westeros, along with Miguel, Ryan, and George. That means that on the same day the news broke about the cancellation of a female-led, female-written, and female-directed Game of Thrones prequel pilot, HBO announced that it had not only ordered a pilot, but sent a new show directly to series, a prequel which, given the source material, will focus primarily on the Targaryen men, with a creative team consisting entirely of men. There is no way that HBO is blind to the horrible optics regarding diversity on every level of the original Game of Thrones series. Only one woman, Michelle McLaren, ever directed on the series, helming 4 episodes, meaning that 6% of the show's 73 episodes were directed by women. Only 3 women ever wrote on the series: Jane Epinson, Vanessa Taylor, and Gurishmaran Sandhu, adding to their yes.
You didn't need help butchering the name either, though. That's an ugly name.
Yeah. Adding to their contributions to a total of 9 episodes. It makes sense that HBO would be desperate to recapture the magic of a franchise that took the entire world by storm. But forging ahead into the future without making an earnest commitment to make the world of Westeros more inclusive, both behind the scenes and on the page, is an exercise in folly. The magic of Game of Thrones didn't come from men, and to operate in such a fashion suggests that the House of the Dragon is an only thing that HBO stuck 300 years in the past.
Real quick, can I just say that last sentence? Like, okay, so to say that it didn't come from men, so I guess like George R.R. Martin is a figment of these feminists' imagination. Just the same as the magic of Harry Potter wasn't written by a woman.
Yeah, apparently not.
I'm a little bit confused by that. I feel like this writer loves the sound of her keyboard.
Libby Hill is her name. Libby Hill.
Yeah,
I know.
I to say that.
Is there a moment that we could clutch our pearls? Like, could we clutch our pearls any harder right now, guys?
I know.
Inclusivity.
That last sentence.
I read this article and I knew it was perfect for this show, guys. I read it and I just knew.
Let's rework the non-shit, or let's rework the shit, right? Let's take some time, guys. We should fix the shit pile, right? Because whammon. Yeah. That's what we should do. Everybody stop what you're doing. We have something else over here that might be viable and good, but there's guys over there. And they smell, and we shouldn't deal with guys. Let's rework the shit pile in order to appease whammon and diversity.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me right now?
It's complete hypocrisy.
It's not, perhaps the fact that it got canceled has nothing to do with the fact that they lived 300 years in the past. Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that, I don't know, it sucked.
No. They said that it's horrible that they are not considering. They're obviously blind to these horrible optics, and I'm like, no, honey, you're mistaking optics for profit. They are not wanting to be blind to the potential profit, and they know better now. They know better now, and if they're still figuring it out, they're going to do it during the Watchmen series, I'm sure. Because they're a parent to Game of Thrones. Alrighty.
Well, the thing is that it's just hypocrisy because they're talking about how you need to have inclusion. Well, the reason you're having an all-female led cast, well, that's not inclusion and that's not diversity. That's all females. There's no men. That's not diversity. So you're being a total hypocrite when you're talking about diversity, because having a completely female-led production is not diversity. So you're completely spitting nothing but hypocrisy right there. So.
Well, it's sexism, right? Like, I don't even like the term reverse sexism because it's just sexism, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, anytime you're excluding someone based on their gender is sexism. So whether or not it's a male or a female, why do we care, right? Women are the historically oppressed class. I feel just fine. I don't remember being oppressed.
Exactly. That's my point too. Whoever is the best qualified to write the script, to produce the script, to direct the show should do it.
Yeah, forced diversity never leads to good results with creativity. Forced diversity forces boxes and people to stay in them. It makes the writing room a nightmare for writers because they're embarrassed. They're worried that they're going to be reported by HR for throwing out ideas that are not kosher with the people around them. So yeah, I hate
can work that way.
diversity. It's
Who can work that way? Walking on eggshells all of the time. If you're terrified you're going to upset someone 24/7, walking around on eggshells, you can't function that way. You cannot constantly sit there and force yourself to live up to the standard that someone else sets for you to do what it is that you're supposed to. I'm not saying that there should be standards set, but like ridiculous standards that have nothing to do with the actual product that you're putting out there, only this sort of agenda as to whether or not the diversity quota has been met. I don't give a flying whether or not the person on screen is a female. I do not need that to be the case in order for me to relate to you. What I do need is a good story. As long as it's a good story in place, if it happens to be a female that it makes sense for her to be in that situation, then that's fine and that's wonderful, right? Like I'm happy to go ahead and identify, hey, there's a female on the screen. That's great. I do love seeing other women. That's wonderful. But I do not need it to be a female. And at the expense of the writing, are you Nick in the head? Can we please just make a little bit of headway here towards something that seems rational as opposed to where it's solely about what it is that is between a person's legs?
Exactly. Maybe it really just was a really crappy pilot. Did anyone ever think about that? No, because the women were leading it, women were directing it, women were the main cast members. It must have been a misogynist move on HBO's part. Clutching pearls now. Oh my goodness.
Well, if anything, I want to watch more dragons personally. If anything, back in the lore, before season 8, that's what got me. I was totally House Targaryen. I was totally Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones. And you know what? If I want to watch anything, it would be more Targaryen.
Yeah, incest and fire, right? I mean, hey.
Didn't go wrong. Sorry.
We all accept
that popular opinion.
Like, that was the entertaining stuff, right? Everybody loved House Targaryen. That was why everyone was so devastated when Daenerys turned out to be a complete psycho, right? Because it felt
maybe this is a redemption for that.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Maybe they're doing this to try to explain it. Sorry, miss.
Yeah.
It's okay. I love this feminist idea that I just imagine that they're sitting there typing away and she's imagining there's just hundreds upon hundreds of female writers in LA just walking the street poor and hungry because no one will hire them.
Yeah. No, it's because you're a feminist, darling. No one likes dealing with that. Not in the real world. They like to pretend they do. But when it comes down to it, no, they're going to nick shaft you, put your pilot up there.
Because they're not, because, if it looks like this.
Exactly.
We do have a few super chats we want to get to real quick. If you want to pull those up for me, Tom. I do see the Crazy Eyed Jedi for $2. He says, Witch Poo and gang rule the airwaves. I don't know what that means.
I don't.
Is that us? Is that all of us?
Are we a Witch Poo gang?
What were you for Halloween?
I was a witch.
I bet you that's what that's about.
But I don't have any poo anywhere.
It's an endearing term. Come on now.
A witch poo?
Witchy poo.
Witchy poo.
Like anytime some of it, y'all don't know that? Is that like a Texas thing that only I know
got
about?
that, yeah. Like,
Okay.
I know
All
about
right. Sorry.
like cutie poo, or
Is that like a personal attack?
no, like it's like a cute thing, like a
The Brie Larson is
like pumpkin, like you're just a little slice of pumpkin pie.
Oh,
You little
yeah,
witchy
like
poo.
yeah.
well, thanks.
Maybe it's like a mom thing.
It's
I don't
a
know.
bless your heart moment. Not quite like that.
Not like that. So yeah, this was a clutch the pearls moment, I think, for most of us. Amanda, we didn't give you a chance to weigh in, hon.
I don't know what women do they think are going to be offended if they don't put the whole thing as women? Because I'm that doesn't offend me. Put the best people in. Don't just make it all women to appease the nobody that they're trying to. I don't know who would be offended if it sucked. It sucked. I mean, and it probably did. I mean, so yeah.
We got a $2 super chat from Orville Nation. He says, great discussion, great panel. I think we had one earlier as well, Tom, from, was it Hazel? I'm not sure. If you want to check that out, Tom, and let us know if we have another super chat that we should be reading. I don't want to miss anybody. But yeah, well, it's not normal people aren't offended by that, Mandy. Normal people are happy to look at what it is that's sitting in front of them and base it on the merits, right? Like I have a dream that a person will be judged by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. Well, now I have a dream that content will be judged by the color of the people playing it, as opposed to whether or not it's actually any damn good. And so we've flipped mindset here now.
And I feel like, honestly, that these women that are heading up these kinds of movements in terms of the directing and the casting and things like that, they got their thumb on a button of who to bring in and who not to. I feel like they're really out of touch with what it means to be a woman and the intelligence that women do have. To say that only hiring women-led, women-directed, women-casted is really all it takes to increase appeal for women. It makes me feel kind of gross, because it's like, you guys really think little of our intelligence, of our ability to like complex storylines, to like in-depth stories, things like that. That's the crutch of why we actually watch these shows. And to say it's just because we care about their vagina, that's really kind of it's kind of skin deep, really. It doesn't really hit the depth of our complexities that we have.
It's insulting is actually what it is. It's insulting.
Yeah, absolutely. Could not agree more. 110%. It's incredibly insulting. You diminish a woman down to her base parts when you treat her as though watching another female on screen is enough to placate her. Sister Hero, I believe, was
it becomes tokenism at some point, doesn't it? And it's annoying.
Yeah, it is.
Did we have a super chat from Sister Hero, Tom? I don't know if you can see that. I think we did. Really.
Yeah, I just put it in the thing. It was like the devil fork hands, but it won't show up.
Okay. All right.
The sticker. That's why.
There it is. I see it. So from Sister Hero, do what? Oh.
I just said thank you so much to Sister Hero.
Yeah, $3. She says a $3 and just rock and roll fingers. Rock and roll fingers. Holler at your girl. All right, so we are probably going to go ahead and move on to our next topic for the night. Geeky Candy's got that locked down over there, don't you, my love?
Yes. So yeah, this next article, there's been a lot of hate at Disney, and I'm not saying it's not deserved. It certainly is, and I've got plenty of it too. But I'm gonna bust out my thingamabobber and start brushing my hair as I bring us into our next segment, all about the Little Mermaid. So yes, you guys. Okay, I was really excited about this because the cast looks fantastic, and the trailer was beautiful. So before I even get started, I was hoping we could just kind of click the little trailer right there, 30-second, give us a little flavor of what we're going to expect. There's a live action show on November 5th for The Little Mermaid, and I think it might be better than the movie they're producing right now. So let's just take a look at it.
That's on Tuesday, right? Oh, we're not sharing audio.
Oh, you got to listen to the audio. That is the best part.
Yeah, we're missing the audio, Tom.
had underwater in my background.
The Little Mermaid live Tuesday, November 5th on ABC.
Yes, you guys. Did y'all hear that? That was Ollie's voice. She is from Moana. She is a real Disney princess. I'm not even kidding. Like, she is amazing. And I'm just going to get into the article a little bit. She's diving into the live version of The Little Mermaid. She's one of the few characters who can boast that they will have played 2 different Disney princesses. Her voice work brought the animated character of Moana to life. And now she's speaking and singing for Ariel in the wonderful world of Disney Presents The Little Mermaid Live. So the hybrid production to mark the 30th anniversary of the film will blend live performances with moments from the animated film. So it's going to be kind of like a back and forth with the already produced like the musical portions, and then bringing it back to the live version right after that. So joining Carvalho, a Kamehameha. Every time I hear that, I think like Kamehameha, like the Dragon Ball Z. Anyway, okay, is that only me? Any other Dragon Ball Z people here? Okay, maybe not. Moving on. So she is graduating this year. She is 18, and she has got quite the career ahead of her. Also, that's going to be on it. We've got Shaggy as Sebastian, which I love. That is going to be freaking amazing. Yes. And then Graham Phillips is Prince Eric, and I didn't really look into his background much, but I mean, he's cute. You know, whatever. So he looks like he'll be good. Queen Latifah as Ursula, y'all. Like, bringing you the diva, I mean, I cannot wait to see her as that. I think that's perfect. So, yeah, so sets are being constructed on the Disney lot while performers will sing before a studio audience. What they and the home audience will see are moments of the animated film that will give way to certain scenes performed by the actors. After the scene, the animated film will pick up and continue until the next live action scene. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit past this. So some of the things I really love about this is that Disney, for this live action, they're really taking note of how to capture Jodie, the original singer for the Little Mermaid. Her voice it's iconic. Like, you can hear that and you just know that that's the Little Mermaid voice, and she's amazing. So if you ever listen to Moana's soundtrack or hear her sing, she has a lot deeper. It's very it's not as like light and ethereal as Jodie's. And so she is actually working with Alex Menken, who is the original composer and songwriter. Yeah, Alan Menken. Sorry, did I say it wrong? Alan Menken.
I thought you said Alex. I wasn't sure if there was.
Oh, I probably did. Alan Menken. Thank you for saying that. Who's done Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Pocahontas and The Little Mermaid. So she's working with him to try to create a hybrid that will match that iconic voice perfectly. And if they're doing this much work for this live action, it does give me a little bit of hope that perhaps for the new remake of the movie, that they're going to do that with the new what's the actress's name that they hired? Halle. Yes, yeah. So I'm hoping that they're going to be doing that. I mean, it gives me hope, and I feel like they will. So she said this is a direct quote from her. She goes, "I think there's so much room to play with that, while of course still paying homage to the original character." So she is really wanting to make sure that you get the same soul and feel of original Ariel without taking it too crazy one way or the other. And then one last thing she said, she doesn't agree with when Ariel is the pact that she makes with Ursula to trade her voice for the legs needed to be the part of the dry land world. Cavello says, in no uncertain terms, there is nothing in the world she'd trade for someone else to get her voice. And I do not blame her. I have one last little tiny bit of this, and that is, Tom, if you can just show, there's about 30 seconds of her audition. If you aren't familiar with her story, sorry, this is like a big rave for this actress. She's fabulous, and I love her. She was the last person to show up for casting for Moana, and she almost didn't do it. After hundreds and hundreds of YouTube auditions, they saw her, and this little video shows the reaction of them when they tell her she is Moana. She's never once done anything before this, so if you want to click that, it's kind of exciting.
No, it's not. And Rod, we're not pretending. Not pretending now. We want you to be the voice of Moana in our movie. We really do. Really do. You're going to be Moana.
Thank you.
And then I get a call at work.
Yeah, I got cast as Moana.
And it was just,
That was pretty sneaky. That was sneaky.
That was sneaky. So anyway, that's all I really wanted to show. I just wanted you guys to see how sweet she really is in real life. And y'all, I've seen her live performances and she's out of this world. So if I know that live action things aren't kind of, they're kind of weird, but if you have the ability to see this show, it might be a great thing for the family to enjoy. So that's my bit of good news this week, supporting females like, our wonderful Moana now, Ariel.
Oh, isn't that wonderful that she gets to do both?
Yeah, I think it's great.
Oh, I think she's fantastic too. So in every interview I've ever seen of her, she's just got this bubbly sort of enthusiasm about her. She absolutely imbibed Moana when she was doing it. She was completely 110% on board, right? And I think we can all agree Moana was a pretty great movie, right? Yeah. It was original and it was, and look, it did the whole ethnicity thing without feeling pretentious or like it was sitting on a soapbox. No, they did their due diligence. They were careful with it. They respected the culture, and that is wonderful. And then you have at the same time, she's able to sort of transfer over to this aerial platform where she's able to bring this to life for us as well. And I just adore her. She's adorable. And I couldn't, oh my God, Queen Latifah as Ursula. Is there better?
Yeah, right? I'm surprised that I hadn't seen anything about this until just now, with it being like a few days until it shows. But I am excited. I'm going to record this. I'm like, I want to probably play it over and over again. I love her voice, and hearing her sing that beautiful sound that Ariel makes. I just can't wait. I'm excited.
That's going to be fun.
I'm just going to brush my hair with my dingle hopper.
It's John Stamos.
John Stamos.
The movie.
Yeah, and John Stamos as
there you
the
go.
chef. Him and Shaggy are going to be hilarious together.
I don't really like watching. I finally watched The Lion King, and that destroyed my heart. So anything that Disney remakes, I just kind of decided I'm not going to watch the remakes. But this is different because they're doing I saw the commercial on ABC the other day. So they're going to have like the actual movie in the background for it. And then they're going to do like the dancing and the singing. So it's actually going to be kind of cute, I think. My youngest daughter is infatuated with The Little Mermaid. So I think this is something that she would really enjoy. So it's going to be cool for the kids and stuff. Like she's constantly singing the songs.
Yep.
So
I think it's fantastic. I love the casting first. John Stamos. You guys remember Full House? It was like the best part of Full House.
John.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then we have a $2 super chat from
so got it.
For $2. He says society. I suppose that's what that's supposed to say, society. And we have another $2 super chat from Snowdub Music and Entertainment. He says Meg's background is amazing. Definitely a true fan. No doubt about that. And we are absolutely pleased as punch to have Meg's be a part of Toxic Femininity with us. She's a peachy keen kind of gal, y'all. Mm-hmm. So, no, I'm looking forward. I really want to see Queen Latifah as Ursula. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what's pumping me up. Look, I loved her as Moana. But I couldn't have selected better casting than Queen Latifah as Ursula.
And what they showed of her, just that little glimpse of her like that. I cannot wait to see how they do the rest of her body to make it look more like Ursula from. I don't know. I just don't know what they're gonna do with it. I'm excited.
I feel like fun. You can see that they're having fun. It's not. Yeah. They look like they're having fun. Queen Latifah looks so happy that she's there. They all seem to be just having a blast planning this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to be excited about this, but I don't know if it bothers anybody else. But every time they do a remake or a live action, they change the music. And when they change the music, to me, that's what they can change everything else. But when they change a song that I grew up listening to, that Little Mermaid album constantly, and then they always change, even like Beauty and the Beast. It was good. I liked it. It was a beautiful movie, but they changed the music on it. And I was just like, oh no, I can't sing along to it now without having to relearn everything.
See, I hated that movie with every fiber of my being. I hated it. But mostly because of that sort of feminist angle that they took with it. Like, does anybody else laugh at the notion that they chucked in, let her wash the laundry, people. Why won't you let her wash laundry? Like that's I guess
Clean drawers, man. Just clean drawers.
like she's inventing washing machines now. That's
right. But I thought it was pretty though. It was beautiful. The scenery, everything. It was gorgeous. But yeah, the music killed it for me. I heard that music and they changed it.
Yeah, it's so important for that to be right, and that's why I was excited to see that the original songwriter and composer for these he's the main guy on it. So it's good that it's good that they're taking that into. Yeah.
Well, and it doesn't get any better than him because he's responsible not just for The Little Mermaid, but for all of those sort of Renaissance Disney movies that kicked everything off and put it into like this iconic realm that we remember so well, right? So Alan Menken is the guy. If you want that on point, he's going to be able to do a measure of revision that makes it appropriate for these characters while still maintaining that feel and that nostalgia that we're so incredibly, familiar with. So yeah, I think that's the guy, right? That's your guy right there. So I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. Orville Nation for $5 says, great content, ladies. Everyone in chat, please, let's get 300 people in here. Well, I would love to see 300 people in here watching this stream, but you know what else I would love to see is you guys click those links I've been throwing up in the chat and go subscribe to all of these lovely ladies. They put out wonderful content, and you could not find more lovely, engaging, and capable
and more toxic.
Ooh, exactly. Toxic. We imbibe that word here.
Yeah, we don't bite, but we are a little toxic. So be careful.
I might
poke us.
Not hard. So all right, guys.
Maybe a nibble. Maybe.
Nibble. Mostly it's on the pearls. Just sitting here. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on into our next topic. If everybody's good with this one. I loved it. I can't wait to see it on Tuesday. All right. So we got an article coming to us. Oh, God, Star Wars. Star Wars. We were happy 2 seconds ago, guys. I'm killing it. And I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I tried. I tried, y'all.
We have to kill the momentum here for a minute. So this article comes to us from WeGotThisCovered.com. And I actually have a video coming out on this tomorrow for you guys. The Peanut Gallery. So the future of Star Wars will reportedly be very female. Get your pearls ready. So whatever your opinions on the quality of Disney's sequel trilogy, it is undeniable that they've succeeded in their goal of making Star Wars more attractive to women. Are you guys more attracted to Star Wars now?
No.
Less, actually.
I'm not particularly. Okay, well, there's 5. So no. Having Daisy Ridley's Rey as the focus was a big help, as were strong characters like Carrie Fisher's General Leia. Let's downgrade her from Princess to General. That's cool. Kelly Marie Tran's Rose Tico and Felicity Jones' Jyn Erso. They bring a nice bit of balance to what had previously been a series focused on the trials and tribulations of men. I don't remember Star Wars being male-centric before this new trilogy. Guys, I thought it was super diverse before. I must have been wrong. Hold on, let me clutch my pearls. Now it seems that Lucasfilm is determined to bring that same balance to the other side of the camera. We're hearing from our sources, the same who told us about the Green Lantern show before it was announced and about Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan return back in May, that the studio is eager for both Kevin Feige's project and the Knights of the Old Republic trilogy to have female leads and directors. We don't know much about the former, but this news would certainly fit the rumors that the Marvel Studios head honcho wants Brie Larson for the lead. I was about to say, I literally did that same thing earlier in my video. I was like,
threw up in my mouth a little.
Just a little bit. I held it together right there.
Where's my gum?
Additionally, if the Knights of the Old Republic trilogy does indeed retell the story of Darth Revan and Darth Malak, it would be extremely easy for them to make Revan a woman.
No, that's not canon.
That's not. That's because in the BioWare RPG in which the character debuted, players could choose Revan's gender and ethnicity. The question of whether the canonical Revan is male or female has never been settled. Really, it's never been
true. Not
That's
true.
completely untrue. But it's sounding like Disney are going with the latter. Well, of course they are. It'll also be interesting to see which directors are tapped for the projects. Lucasfilm's sister studio, Marvel Studios, has recruited a number of female filmmakers for the upcoming projects of late, including Kate Shortland for Black Widow and Chloe Zhao for the Eternals. My thinking is that Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy will be keeping a close eye on how those two do. With the large cast and epic action of the Eternals, perhaps making Zhao a good candidate for Star Wars. Beyond that, there have been persistent rumors that linking Wonder Woman's Patty Jenkins to the Knights of the Old Republic trilogy. But for now, those remain unconfirmed. Clearly, though, the future of Star Wars is going to be very female heavy, and that can only be a good thing. Now, I would love to, before we get into it, point out who wrote this article. Is a guy by the name of David James. David, you don't get to speak for me.
How do you know David's a dude? I just want to know what are
sorry.
the parameters we operate under when we decide.
Well, let's assume that
Did he list his pronouns? Because otherwise, you really can't say that.
Very true. Very true.
I'm just saying that you're going to trigger people
Don't
here.
assume Dave's pronoun.
Call me ma'am.
That's right. He could be transitioning. She could be transitioning. You don't know.
Sorry to go on that tangent, Mary. I didn't mean to do that. But, I'm just trying to keep it, we're PC here, right?
PC up in this vlog.
No, we're PC. This is
Here's why this is an issue. This is a big issue because there are two main points I would like to make here as to why this is a huge issue for me. First of all, this is another example of shoving a girl into a male role and calling it handled, right? And the reason that this is a male role is because Revan was a male. Look, I played Knights of the Old Republic religiously, and I did it as a female in the game, but there's a difference between the game and the comics. And the comics gave us Bastila Shan and Revan, and they had children. You don't get children when you put together. That doesn't work. That's not how this works, right? Like, you have to have a male and a female in order to get children. You are altering this character beyond recognition. You are taking something that we love and dismantling it, but still titling it the same thing and expecting us to show up because diversity. That's not how this works. If we show up for Revan, it'll be for the Revan that we recognize, that we know, and that we love. And you distorting that beyond recognition is not going to get my butt or any other hardcore expanded universe or a person who loved Revans. You're not going to get their butts in this seat either. And calling us sexists for not showing up because you screwed up another character isn't going to fly.
Yeah, I got one word, feminator. Let's just talk about that. I mean, I don't want to go and get on another tangent here, but we've seen the effects of this, and I think it's funny in the story. They start off saying it's undeniable how they've succeeded in their goal of making Star Wars more attractive to women. Okay, great. Okay, so at what cost? Okay, so in the process of alienating half the fans, they don't realize that it's not about making. You don't have to make women put more women in there to make it attractive to women. We kind of touched on this a little bit ago. Essentially diminishes women believing, that it's that simple. Yeah, we want relatable women in storylines. That's great, but don't bastardize a storyline for the sake of putting a vagina in its place. That's ultimately what you're doing. I have no care about anything else other than the fact that, okay, yeah, that's a woman. She could be pretty. She could not be. I don't really care. I don't even care what she's doing because they replaced what I was coming here for in the first place. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Kind of make me mad.
Mary, who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh my God, your favorite Star Wars character is a guy? What?
Like, does it matter?
I like Darth Maul.
Take my Wayman card. Here's my Wayman card. Just take it. I'm done. I'm sorry. I know. I've betrayed my kind. I've betrayed you all, and I apologize.
If they ever turn Darth Maul into a woman, I will burn everything that I own in Star Wars. I will destroy.
Burn it down, guys.
We did technically chop off his wiener.
They did. And yeah, it's an easy arc for them at this point. I just hope they don't do it.
Do it to all of them. Why not?
Small step for Darth Vader, one giant leap for cyborg kind.
Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy, and why not? Gone this far, right? And far away.
Go. Oh my god.
We do have a $5 super chat before we let the other girls chime in, just to make sure we don't lose it here. From Mr. Gently Benevolent for $5. He says, "I look forward to this centric Star Wars. It's about time we had the story of Tico, the Sporce Whisperer, and the Potato Sack Suck." I'm with it, 110%. I'm not sure how familiar the rest of you girls are with Revan.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, I don't know. Other than a brief history and the fact that he did have a child with a real an anatomical female. Is that what we have to say? Yeah, and and it is established canon. So I don't know where this person's coming from, but yeah,
it's a woman who identifies as a female. Get it right.
So Revan
but JJ. Okay, we'll just boil it down.
Revan and Bastila have this amazing relationship where they sort of turn around and save each other all the time, right? And it really is a wonderful love story. And it was actually something that I wanted to see originally when I found out that Star Wars was being taken over by Disney. I was all about, let's get a Bastila and Revan trilogy. I wanted that on screen. Now I'm terrified of it. I mean, it absolutely horrifies me, the notion of what they will do to these characters that I love so much. But they have this wonderful, amazing story, and it actually goes down through the years, and then they spawn their descendants actually have wonderful stories as well. And so for them to go about, like, then you would lose Satil Shan, you would lose these wonderful characters because they decided to essentially force two females that aren't, like, at least in terms of the legacy, like Legends Star Wars, that two females bitten together, you don't get to bang out a kid like that.
And trickle down effect.
Yeah. You have these other characters that you lose in the process when you do something like that. And I don't want to lose those characters, but because more diversity and you're not willing to look beyond the nose on your face to see what's staring you in the face, you're willing to sacrifice all that stuff because my diversity, because, let's get some LGBT representation out there. Well, I'll go ahead and throw my bi card into the mix here. I don't care. I don't fucking care. I don't want it. I don't need it. Stop it. You're making me look down the road and see the other things that I would have to miss because you just had to do this way at this time, because this is all that matters right now is my diversity. So
it just boils down to lazy writing, their inability to translate a strong woman on screen. And so they feel the need to have to take what's already there, built by a male persona, and turn it into a woman, and thusly makes that woman come off unrelatable in almost every way. They have no idea what they're doing.
Let me just say that, like, if you weren't interested in Star Wars until they came out with this LGBT female bullshit, then you're not a Star Wars fan. You're not. You're not a Star Wars fan if the only thing that interested you about Star Wars was the fact that there was a female lead.
Mm-hmm. Star Wars isn't about being a male or a female. It's about the galaxy and the Force and all of that. In Jedi's, it's not about female or male. It's about the Force and the magic of the Force and the universe and that. It's not about male or female. There's strong characters in that. You find that like Queen Amidala Padme, she was strong. She was a strong female character. You know, she had to deal with Anakin and Darth Vader
and Hayden Christensen.
Exactly. She was strong, but she had a story. She had an arc. She wasn't forced upon. She wasn't like Rey. She wasn't like Tico. And it's just so stupid. The future of Star Wars, and it's just succeeded in making it more attractive to women. No, you didn't. You made it worse. You made it so much worse. You made it not attractive. You made me want to not watch it anymore. You made me, I've watched the other, these stupid sequel movies. I don't even want to watch them. I get so mad and frustrated and angry when I watch them. I get, angry. I get anger. I get so mad where, I don't even want to watch them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and once again managed to offend and insult the people that you were purporting to try to be an advocate for. You have no idea what it means to advocate for people, because clearly you're happy to shove whatever crap it is that you think will work. You slap a title on it, call it good, and hey, my diversity, don't you feel represented? No, I feel insulted. Knock it off.
Exactly. Exactly. Insulted.
Exactly.
I feel insulted. Thank you. That's the word.
We do have a $2 super chat from Adam Wooford. My favorite character is Mara Jade, and I'm a dude. Exactly. It's ridiculous, like the notion that you could have a very favorite character that would be of another gender. You have betrayed your kind. What is wrong with you? Go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Deranged Lunatic for $2. He says 5 beautiful is that flowers and one
Roses?
thorn. 5 beautiful flowers and 1 thorn.
Hey!
Thorn in your side. Is that what that was a reference of?
Goddamn proud of it too.
Mandy, do you want to pipe in on this before we switch topics, love?
I totally agree with y'all. Again, it's insulting. It is insulting to women that they think that this is what we want, and they're clueless as to apparently what women actually, do want, which is a good story. So, yeah, just
thank you, Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. Yeah,
what women want.
Remember? All right,
it was a good movie.
We are going to
I liked it
and try to get on to our next topic. We're going to try to get everything knocked out if we can here. So I believe we're rolling on over to Mandy. Mandy, you've got an article for us about the Sith Troopers, right?
Yes, I do. Okay, so we already have a decent grasp of what most characters will be doing in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, but the Sith Troopers' role remain a big mystery. Speculation has run rampant over whether they'll be loyal to Kylo Ren and the First Order or Grandpappy Palpatine. Now an official Episode 9 preview from Star Wars Insider Magazine may have revealed an unexpected detail about the new Red Armored soldiers. Warning, spoilers ahead, speculative spoilers ahead. Prior to his demise, Emperor Sheev Palpatine hid his Sith affiliation from everyone throughout the original trilogy and its prequels. However, the reveal of the Sith Troopers has led some fans to speculate that Palps could position himself as the ruler of the new Sith Empire in Episode 9. That's right. Forget the Galactic Empire. Palpatine may want to bring back the ancient Sith Empire instead, and the First Order of business would be to instate the Sith Troopers above the First Order. It may sound ridiculous, but one detail in particular from the page of Star Wars Insider seems to suggest the Sith Troopers could be even more menacing than we thought. The Sith Troopers are an elite force of stormtroopers that draw inspiration and power from a dark and ancient legacy. The description reads, so then they put on this article, they put this picture, and it kind of breaks down all of, the good guys and the bad guys. And so on the bad guys side, they are saying the villains are going to be obviously Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and General Hux. And then the good guy, these are bad guys too. I think they're all bad guys. They're the Knights of Ren and the Sith Troopers. So yeah, there's a little picture there. And then it goes on to say, does that mean the Sith Troopers might have Force adjacent powers? Short answer, yes. Even their name implies that these stormtroopers are loyal to the dark side. It's possible they studied and trained in the Force while under Palpatine's guidance prior to his death. In Return of the Jedi, after all, these are not simple fighters like the rest of the stormtroopers, and the ancient legacy detail may be the biggest clue that they're not clones at all, but ancient Sith warriors devoted to Palpatine. Now, it's best to remember that Palpatine revealed his intention to explore the unknown regions in the Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith comic books. So it's possible Palps finally found the unknown region and sent the Sith Troopers there until he could return. Either that or they've secretly continued their Sith training until they could finally assemble in the Rise of Skywalker. Finally, the description also said that the Sith Troopers are well-trained in unarmed combat, meaning they could very well have the power of the Force at their disposal should their weapons no longer come in handy. Whether or not they have Force powers, though, the Sith Troopers look like they're ready to cause some trouble. So after I read this, the first thing I thought was we've got like a Sith Oprah out there. You get a power, and you get a power, and you get a power. And that's almost what it seems like to me. They're just passing them around to everybody. Everybody's got powers now. It ain't even special anymore. Hell, let everybody have them.
Well, and here's my big issue with it, and I'll just put this out there right now. So for those of you who saw The Last Jedi, I'm so sorry. And second up, light or dark rises and light to meet it, right? Well, if there are all of these Sith Force users running around out there, then why the hell is Rey the only one with any powers? Why is she the only one who? I mean, she's so OP, right? She's so OP, and that's because she's got to deal with Kylo Ren and Snoke, right? But if you have all these little Sith troopers running around there, and they're all Force users, why don't we have like a bajillion overpowered Reys running around all over the place? Why is it just Rey? Why is she the only one who's been given all of this power? Why don't we now you've gone and messed with your own representation?
They must be female Sith troopers.
Oh,
that's probably what it is. You probably just nailed it.
Yeah. No, I just have to say one thing. You know, it's definitely not canon to just give stormtroopers any kind of force powers or even force adjacent powers, as they like to put it in this story, because I feel like this is just an obvious distraction, trying to get some buzz up, some really fun, internet talks and stuff like that. This particular costume isn't really the Sith. It's not the Sith trooper. It's the Sith commander trooper, the red. Okay, and so and they're listing this as an army of them. So I feel like they chose this picture, just this particular costume, just out of a bucket, if you will. What can we pull out of Knights of the Old Republic to just, buzz up some cool, and talk about everything and, make people want to see it even more? I don't think it's anything more than that. I think discussions like this are just like the headline and all that. It's just clickbait. If they really are going to do that, all the other breaks from canon and all the other things that they're doing, or changing everything around, this is going to take the cake, because then changes all the rules. Literally everything changes. Yeah. and things already in production, like the Mandalorian and Obi-Wan and all that other stuff going on. What the heck's going to happen with all that going on?
There's no way
I don't see it.
There's no way that they have them all running around like that with force powers. It's just an opportunity. And look, I get it, right? Like they're trying to drum up buzz or whatever and try to drum up a conversation, but it's a stupid conversation.
Yeah. Right.
It's not going to happen. So like it would break, like you said, Candace, it would break the canon. It would absolutely break what it is that they themselves have outlined. So have some concept of what you're trying to talk about here. Hold on. Who is this from exactly? You Inverse?
Yeah.
Inverse?
Right. Inverse or Deadline. I think Inverse.
You are fake news.
Yeah.
It would destroy everything. It would destroy everything that Star Wars has ever created in its lore, and don't be Jedis. You have to. No.
If J.J. Abrams does that, I will not be surprised. Bring on the J.J. Abrams hater, me, freaking him passionately. I would not be surprised if he did this. Him throwing around the you get a force power and you get a force power. Just the filler of the story.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. I like that.
That sounds like a typical JJ payoff, I guess.
He's an absolute idiot. So anything that comes out about this film that's stupid is probably out of his head.
Yeah, it's a JJ move. What's better than one Sith? A whole army full of Sith powers.
Yeah,
and when we've already got like the Knights of Ren. They're coming in. They have power. I mean, they're going to have powers. They have to. They were training with Luke, and Kylo Ren kind of took the students, so they were already being trained to use the Force.
But they're not
makes sense. But these guys are not.
That they were going to kill them off pretty early because essentially it was dropped in The Last Jedi. So I think I heard that. I think I heard that, but I don't quote me. Obviously, we won't know until it actually comes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, Peanut Gallery, what you got?
Endless trash.
That's all we need to know.
You get out of here. All right, well, let's go ahead and move into our final topic for the night, and it's going to come to us from Miss. She got some fun stuff for us this evening.
Yes, I do. So much fun. It's almost as fun as everything has been this entire time, minus the mermaid. Ryan Johnson. Sorry, I almost threw up saying his name. Hurts. Says he's still in talks for more Star Wars, and that angry Last Jedi tweets helped inspire Knives Out.
Lovely.
God, staring at his face just makes me want to go jump off a bridge.
He must be
Knives Out.
After Rian Johnson made Star Wars The Last Jedi, he faced angry Star Wars fans on Twitter, including some who formed a petition to have Lucasfilm strike Johnson's film from Star Wars canon. Johnson funneled that experience into his new film, Knives Out. The all-star murder mystery Thromby, played by Jaden Martell, who tweets alt-right hate speech online. Anyone who's on Twitter these days, God bless you, because it's rough waters out there, but there's also cool stuff about it. Johnson said this on Saturday at Deadline. That's why we're all still on it, I guess. That's one of the things Knives Out engages with, the current state of online culture. Whether you made a Star Wars movie or you have a cooking show, whatever you're doing on there, someone's going to be screaming at you about it. Let's put it on a screen in a way we can all maybe laugh about it. Johnson added he's still in talks with Lucasfilm to make more Star Wars films, though had no news about them. We're still engaged with Lucasfilm. We'll wait and see, Johnson said. No updates on it at this moment, but yeah, they're probably not going to give it to me. I didn't say that. It doesn't say that in the article.
An edit.
I'm going to call you Rob Jr.
Agatha Christie adaptions. Johnson wanted to set. I don't care what Johnson wanted to do. It's about Knives Out. We're going to do it in modern day technology. Fun. 2019. Yay. Twitter. Johnson's idiot.
Yay! With Captain America going. Cute. Captain America's gonna curse everybody out. Rian Johnson had to remake Clue in 2019.
I applaud you. I applaud you, Rian Johnson. I applaud you for being such a moron and being such a self-entitled prick that criticism means absolutely nothing to you. So let's laugh at criticism. I don't want to build upon myself as a director or a writer. I don't want to look at some of the things that people are saying and maybe look at it and go, maybe I should fix this. Maybe I should try and better myself as a writer or director. I want to make good stuff. I want to tell good stories. No. That's not what I want to do. I'm pretty stupid shit, and I want to make it famous by telling people if they don't like it, they're this, and that. They're idiots. They're dumb people with Twitters. Twitter is a dangerous, horrible place, but sometimes it's fun because I get to be an asshole.
Look, it's the mark of a power tripping psycho, right? When everything must be their way, right? It's a power tripping crazy person who's like, okay, so you have to do this, and this, right? It has to be this way. And anyone who argues with me, there's something fundamentally wrong with them. It is always them who is wrong, never me. I can never be, I'm an infallible human being. And if you do not adhere to what it is that I say, then you are a terrible person, and then they will begin to sling mud at you. And it doesn't matter whether or not that mud is true. It doesn't matter whether or not what they sling at you is true, because they've slung it now, right? Now it's stuck to you. And some people will believe him, because why shouldn't they believe him? He's a wonderful director. Look, he worked on Star Wars. Isn't he important? Isn't he special, right? He can't possibly stop, take a step back, and listen to criticism. He's not getting this freaking trilogy, guys. He's not getting it. And he's simply unwilling to accept it and own it. So he just can't quite, he has to get those last digs in while he still can, while he can still shove it under the table at us. Well, yeah, of course I'm still working with Lucas and Star Wars, guys. I mean, no, I don't have an update for you, but, of course I'm still working with him, because we can't prove otherwise right now. You're not getting your trilogy, you freaking twat waffle. I cannot stand Rian Johnson.
So I think this illustrates very well two types of producers that we have in Hollywood. You've got the Rian Johnsons, who are completely aware of the commentary on Twitter regarding his great works, And you also have the double Ds, as I like to call them, you know, Benioff and Weiss, David and David, who they decide to leave Star Wars because they said that supposedly all the talk about it kind of spooked them, which kind of funny. So, you know, all I can say is it's working. The criticisms are working because some producers are figuring it out. Others are going to take longer to get there. And Ryan, God bless him, he's going to be one of those. But you know, let Knives Out speak for itself, and let his work speak for itself. I think, you know, years from now, when you look back and see what the hell else he does, that's going to speak for itself. So I'm not too worried about it. You know, he's going to monetize his haters the best way he can by making another shitty film. And that's his way, you know, so more power to him, and, you know, see if it helps him any in the long run. But I seriously doubt it.
He's not monetizing his haters. He's picking and choosing who he's putting on there. When it says that angry Last Jedi tweets helped inspire Lives Out, he's picking the ones that make no sense, that don't have that criticism. The ones that say, "Oh, I hate like there are actual sexist people out there." I don't think that. But
yeah, he's going to pick the most inflammatory to prove a point. Yeah, that's what Twitter does in general.
Because he's an idiot. Yeah. I mean, they're all idiots. Why is everybody so stupid? It's so tiring.
They live in Hollywood. It's easy.
He's trying to make himself feel better, okay? He's trying to laugh it off, you know? Taylor Swift says, shake it off. He's trying to laugh it off, okay?
Real quick, guys, we have a $2 super chat from Crazy Eye Jedi. He said, FM made it to the big screen, so for royalty.
I think this kind of already answered that.
The peanut gallery.
She makes a good point. No, he's technically, he may act like he's monetizing us, but he's not, because, like, you know, the ladies just said, he's just going to pick and choose the shit he wants to present, and he's probably going to make this character a vile, horrible person.
Right.
Yeah, the characters he's pulling from. I don't know if y'all looked up Agatha Christie. He said he's inspired the characters after her characters, and they're very interesting characters. You would recognize them if you saw, like, you know, with the I can see some of the like Clue style kind of characters, you know, but then he says like pulling them into 2019 in terms of using Twitter commentary from that. It just seems like such a, again, low creativity, low bar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, weird. Taking the creativity of someone else, extracting it for himself, and using the bits and pieces that he wants, and then throwing in his
sounds familiar.
Perception.
Sounds really familiar.
Sounds a little familiar, right? He throws a spin on it. He has no real creativity himself. He just takes. He stands on the shoulders of other people who've done this hard work, and then decides to claim it for his own after altering it, essentially beyond real recognition, but not in a good way, right? Like not altering it in the kind of way that would make you like, hey, okay, so this feels like something new. No, you're just altering it in the kind of way that makes everyone around you want to vomit. So,
yep.
I want to go ahead and give everybody final thoughts on this particular topic, because we do want to go ahead and wrap this up soon, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Final thoughts, ladies?
That's indie films and indie directors. Make your own movies and your own stories. Stop depending on Hollywood and mainstream to get you your entertainment. Read the EU.
Yeah, that's a start. That's a good start.
Don't pay Hollywood anymore.
Yeah, I agree. 110%.
Agree.
Yep.
Read books.
or if you don't want to read books, you can get it on Audible. It's amazing. You can even get a free book on Audible. # not sponsored. But yeah, guys.
It's not, but I like Audible.
No, I mean
too.
I can read.
All right. Well, do we want to go ahead and start letting the ladies plug their channels, Tom? Can I hand it back?
Let's do it.
All right.
Get out your dollar bills, guys. I mean, sorry, wrong.
I'm in love with a stripper. Sorry.
I'm leaving.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you know, it helps if I actually have the stuff up I'm supposed to have up.
Gosh, you're such a thorn.
Oh,
just kidding.
Just like every night has a dawn. And you know what's weird? There's a hell of a lot more thorns on every rose than there's roses. So, you know, for every rose, there's like a dozen thorns. But yeah, we want to thank everybody else. Oh, wait, not this part yet. Of course, we want to go around the bend and tell everybody a little bit about yourselves, where they can find you and what you do, and blah, 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 and all that stuff. So, Megs, real quick, since we got to get moving, tell them where they can find you and a little bit about yourself.
You can find me on my channel at the Megs channel. I do the Meg Show, where I review trailers and movies and TV shows. I also do the Ribbit, Bigot, and the Blonde Show officially every Saturday, and streams with my puppet brothers. And yeah, that's about it at this point in time, but I plan on doing much more, so check it out.
Awesomeness. Mandy, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Like what? So yeah, I'm Mandy Summers. I'm the creator of the comic book Wart the Wizard that is now in demand on Indiegogo. You can find me on YouTube at Mandy Summers, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Wart the Wizard.
Awesomeness. Miss Sarcastic Nerd, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Miss Sarcastic Nerd, but you can call me Miss. I hate J.J. Abrams, and you can find me on YouTube and on Twitter.
I love that.
You're here. Geeky Candy, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Hey everybody, I am Candace, aka Geeky Candy, and I have a YouTube channel. Can't you believe it? Yeah, please check it out. I just put up a 26-minute deep dive and prediction video on the last Mandalorian final trailer. I am currently following all things Mandalorian, and I just did some live stream gaming last night with Call of Duty and Titanfall 2. And in December, I'm going to be working on some Expanse stuff. So come check it out, you guys.
And
she's
great. And last but definitely not least, the Mistress of Mayhem, the Mistress of Ceremonies herself. Don't you have a little announcement to make besides this?
Yes. Sure, we can go ahead and make that now. Well, guys, we are going to be moving. So as you may have noticed tonight, we showed up on Sunday evening.
Shit to pack.
We do. We have a whole bunch of stuff to pack. We are moving in more ways than one. I'm not sure if we're going to make the other announcement tonight as well, Tom. But we are.
The main one we're moving. Yeah, we're moving.
We are moving from Sunday or from Tuesday nights to Sunday nights. And then are we telling them anything else?
Yeah, you got to meet Andre finally, didn't you?
I did. I'm very tentative about. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to tell him right now.
Well, what you can tell everybody is that Andre informed you and insisted that Toxic Femininity would be on the main channel from now on.
Oh my gosh, y'all! Congratulations! That's awesome.
Yes. So
I said it very much like he said it too. I even had to pound the desk like he does.
Yes, we are moving, guys. So we're going to be going from Tuesday nights to Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Mountain, and 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You'll find us over next week on the main channel. So ladies of Toxic Femininity are moving, but we hope to see you guys over there with us on Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific moving forward. So
be there for all the pearl clutching and more.
So definitely check us out next week, and definitely check out Mary Mayhem if you haven't already. Isn't that right?
Please do. Yes, I'm Mistress of Mayhem, disruptor of the narrative and official Whammon card holder. You can find me over on my channel, Mary Mayhem, where I talk about newsy news stuff during the week, and on the weekends we have a little bit of fun.
All righty then. Now I can do this. Thank you once again for joining us out there in YouTube land. I want to thank the ladies, of course, as always. And I want to thank them for all the nice, fun times we've had here on Midnight Edge After Dark. I'm so sad. We're moving on up. I'm trying to be happy. I'm happy.